Good morning dear students. I hope you all are fine. Today in this video, I am going to discuss the further topics of chapter Understanding Marginalization. In the previous video, I talked about the meaning of marginalization. I also discussed about the story of Adivasi family.
I also explained why the Adivasi family was compelled to leave the forest. The causes were being discussed. Today I am going to talk about the further topic of chapter 7, Understanding Marginalization. Adivasis and stereotype. I hope now you are able to understand who are called as Adivasis. These are the people or community of people who are being marginalized. They are deprived of all the development, privileges of town and cities. They are forced to be aside. They are not in the center. Now let us understand the meaning of stereotyping. Stereotyping is basically when majority or most of the people frame negative opinion and thoughts about other group, that is called as stereotyping. So when we talk about Adivasi and stereotyping, definitely people hold many negative views or hypothetical views about Adivasis and their communities. In India, we usually showcase Adivasi communities in particular way, thus during school functions or other official events or in books and movies. Adivasis are invariably portrayed in very stereotyped ways, in colorful costumes, headgear, and through their dancing. You must have also noticed in movies and books that their costume is different, they wear headgear, like their lifestyle is different, and gradually we start believing this. We start believing that they are backward, they are not developed. And we also start blaming Adivasis that they don't want to have new ideas and changes in their life. That is the reason they are not advanced. So these are our opinions and beliefs about Adivasi group. But in reality, their lives are different. Adivasis and development. Forests were absolutely crucial to the development of all empires and settled civilization in India. Metal ores like iron and copper, gold and silver, coal and diamonds, invaluable timber, most medicinal herbs and animal products, and animals themselves, all comes from the forest. In addition, the continuation of the life depend heavily on the forest that help recharge many of India's river and is becoming clearer now, crucial to the availability and quality of human. This means that Adivasis have been living in the forest. But for the mankind, it was always important to develop. And forest has always been very rich in minerals, medicinal herbs, and animal products. So gradually with the development, people started cutting down the forest and compelled Adivasis to leave the forest and migrate or move from that place to another. Forest covered the major part of our country till the 19th century, and the Adivasis had a deep knowledge of, access to, or as well as control over most of these vast tracts at least till the middle of 19th century. This means that they were not ruled by large states and empires. Instead, often empires heavily dependent on Adivasis for the crucial access to forest resources. This means that Adivasis had great control over forest till 19th century, and no other empire and state ruled forest. Adivasis were keeping a great knowledge of forest and empires and kingdoms were heavily dependent on the forest and forest products. So Adivasis played a very important role till 19th century. Other empires heavily depended on Adivasis for the crucial access to the forest resources. And the kingdom used to take help of Adivasis to explore and know more about the forest resources. But gradually it was being seen that Adivasis were being marginalized and considered to be powerless communities. In the pre colonial world, they were traditionally ranged hunter gatherers and nomads and lived by shifting agriculture and also cultivating in one place. Although these remain for the past 200 years, Adivasis have been increasingly forced through economic changes, forest policies, and political force applied by the state and the private industries to migrate to lives as workers in plantation, at construction sites, in industries, and domestic workers. So, gradually, over a period of time, when development started taking place, people started cutting forest. They want to set up the industries, and the government also started forcing, and also the political parties, to empty forest and move to the cities where they can get job. They were also being offered to start working in the industries so they can have their livelihood. Forest lands have been cleared for timber and to get land for agriculture and industry. Adivasis have also lived in areas that are rich in minerals and other natural resources. Now, it was also being seen Adivasis have been living in the forest which was having rich minerals and ore present there. So, the mining industries and large scale projects industries, they forced applied power so that they can leave the place and so that they can set up the industries. According to the official figures, more than 50% of persons displaced due to mines and minings. Mining projects. Another recent survey report by organizations working among Adivasis shows that 79% of persons displaced from state of Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Jharkhand are tribals. This means that because of the projects, they were being forced to leave, and 50% of the tribal communities were being forced to leave the forest. And also it is being found through a survey that 79% of tribal people, Adivasis, were forced to leave the forests of Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Jharkhand. Now let us see minorities and marginalization. Constitution provides safeguard to the religious and linguistic minority as a part of our fundamental rights. As I have already explained in the class what is constitution and what are the fundamental rights. So, because we have got constitution and fundamental rights, this provides safeguard to different religion and also to the minorities. Why do you think these minorities group have been provided these safeguards? What is the need to be safeguarded? Why these minorities need protection? The term minority is most commonly used to refer to communities that are numerically small in relation to the rest of the population. So basically, when I just want to explain you what is minority, they are community or group of people who are less in number comparing to other people. However, it is a concept that goes well beyond numbers. It encompasses issues of power, access to resources, and cultural dimensions. The Indian Constitution recognizes that the culture of the majority influences the way in which society and government might express themselves. It is being observed that majority always dominates minority, and to save their rituals, beliefs, values, Constitution started providing safeguard to the marginalized. In such cases, Size can be a disadvantage and lead to the marginalization of relatively smaller communities. Thus, safeguards are needed to protect minority communities against the possibility of being culturally dominated by the majority. They also protect them against any discrimination and disadvantage that they may face. There are few topics based on minority and marginalization which will be discussed in the class as it is very important. Now, let us see. Now, let us go through conclusion. What we have actually understood from this chapter. We have tried to look at this through a experience of different marginalized communities. These are different reasons for each of the communities. That means there are different communities, they are being considered different, they are being discriminated, and stereotyping is being done. These people are called as marginalized, and we also hold some negative, prejudiced, stereotype opinions about these people. In India, there are several more marginalized communities like Dalits, of whom you will read in the next chapter. Marginalization basically results in having a low social status and not having equal access to education and other resources. These are the communities of people who are being considered as low in society, in the status, and also they don't have access to use the development, facilities, resources, and education. But with all discrimination and stereotyping, fundamental rights and constitution make it sure that every citizen should get the advantage and their rights. Yes, the lives of marginalized people can also be changed. Marginalized communities want to maintain their cultural distinctiveness while having access to rights, development, and other opportunities. So, this was all in the chapter. I hope you were able to understand. Thank you for watching.